Hello and welcome back to another weekly message with me, your host, Courtney Tiffany. This is for the collective for January 25th through the 31st. So during this week, we also have a full moon in Leo. Full moons are typically times to kind of release, reassess where we're at, and get back on track for our new moon intentions. Tapping into kind of what's coming up for me personally and also for the collective and what we might be experiencing going into this week has a lot to do with our triggers. Has a lot to do with mirror work. So if you're unfamiliar with that, simply our outside realities are a projection of our internal realities. The things that frustrate us, the things that we tend to be quick to judge, the things that we are afraid of doing are oftentimes a reflection of what we actually need to do, right, in order to grow. Things that we need to heal, things that we need to work on within ourselves. And so this week, it's really important to kind of keep track of any triggers that you might have. Anytime something kind of sets you off, recognize, even if it's just like road rage, right? Or you're feeling overwhelmed and there's a ton of things coming at you and you just kind of snap, or you get angry really fast, or your anxiety starts to act up, right? Recognizing what those triggers are, what's causing you to have these somewhat negative reactions. And then once you're aware of that, right, kind of diving deeper into that, there's a lot of kind of self-healing around the theme of this full moon. And again, recognizing, okay, what is triggering me to feel this way, right? Or why am I afraid of doing this certain thing? I was interviewed recently on a podcast, and we talked about a lot of things, but one of the things that really stuck out and that I feel like is a message we could all use right now is not letting fear stop you from your growth. Oftentimes the things that we fear or that we're afraid of are the challenges that we have to face in order to move past like our current cycles, right? In order to up level and in order to grow, in order to evolve, right? In order to fully step into our truth and our power and authenticity, we have to face our fears. And that's really scary. We're afraid of them for a reason, right? But this is a great time to kind of peel back those layers and be like, okay, why am I afraid of this? How is it blocking me, right? From stepping into my truth, from stepping into the person that I want to be, to embody, to become. And it could be like a little thing, right? Like whether you're afraid of failing at something, afraid of what others might think about you, afraid of success. So just to backtrack, so a fear of what others might think about you, right? This is oftentimes have to actually do with our own self-worth, right? Or our own judgments about ourselves, or, we focus on what other people are going to think, so it prevents us from actually doing the thing that we want to do, from creating the thing that we want to do, from speaking and saying the things that we want, right? But we're so afraid of everyone else's reaction that it prevents us from actually doing the thing that we want. fear of failure, right? We're afraid that we might not be successful or we're going to fail. But flipping that around, again, using this mirror, right? If we're afraid of failure, are we actually afraid of things not turning out how we want them to, right? Instead of viewing it as failure, view it as, okay, what lessons can I learn? And who's to say you're going to fail? You might actually succeed, right? And there was nothing to be afraid of all along. But don't look at failure as like the end of the road, right? It's a lesson. It's teaching you, okay, it doesn't work when I do it this way, so let me try it this way. Let me try it again, right? We can't just give up hope. We can't just give up, right? Because we're afraid to do something. Oftentimes, we're afraid of doing something when we're afraid of facing something. That's where we have healing to do. That's where we have to kind of go into the shadows and do the work in order to grow. So just being aware of that this week. Being aware of triggers, fears that come up for you, and kind of peeling back the layers, right? And getting to the core essence of it, getting to the truth of it, and getting really honest with yourself and saying, where is this blocking me? Why is this blocking me? What lesson do I need to learn? How can I move past this? How can I move through it? Do you need to sit with it a while? Do you need a journal? Do you need to talk to somebody about it, right? This full moon, again, it feels like it's a lot about self-healing, turning inward, and being able to not only release those fears and those triggers and those judgments, right? So that we can move forward, but so they don't hold us back. So we don't keep repeating the same cycle over and over again, right? Those things that trigger you are usually things that you have to overcome, lessons that you need to learn, or they're a reflection of your internal world, right? I'll just give like a brief example. So I know, like for me personally, whenever I get really stressed and overwhelmed, it's because I'm trying to do all of the things and I'm not taking care of myself. If I start yelling at my kids and getting triggered instantly and, not being the mom that I want to be, it's because I'm not taking care. I'm not giving myself the nourishment, the time, the space that I need. Because I know my energy. I know what works for me, what doesn't. And, when I'm at that breaking point, right, it's because I didn't do all of the things that I needed to leading up to it. I was trying to bulldoze through my to-do list or bulldoze through like everything coming at me at once, as opposed to just saying, stop, let's take a minute and just kind of, move past this. So I hope that makes sense. It just felt important to kind of mention that and to recognize our exterior as a reflection, as a mirror for our own internal realities. So, something to look out for this week. As always, take care of yourselves. Let us know if you want in the comments below, what are some triggers that you're dealing with? What are some lessons that you need to learn? What are some judgments that you have? If you see somebody like, oh my gosh, that person's more successful, or oh, she wrote the book, I can't believe it. Like, how can you flip that script? How can you flip it and say, wow, that's amazing. She stuck to her goal and she saw it through to the end. You know, I want to do that. That person's doing so well. I am just so happy for them, right? That they are living their life authentically, that they are doing the things that bring them joy. I want more of that too, right? As opposed to the negative kind of thing. So pay attention this week for mirrors, for signs, and how you can flip the script and view things from a different angle. So much love to you all. I'll see you next week.